For this class, you will need 4 to 5 blocks, preferably all of them except one wooden blocks, and the last block a softer block, 2 blankets, and 1 strap. We'll start off in a back bend with Baddha Konasana legs. Before you set your body up, you'll want to place 2 blocks on their highest height next to each other, with the short end of the block parallel to the top and bottom of your mat. Then a couple inches away, you'll place either 2 or 3 blocks for your head. I like to place 3 blocks on their lowest height with a soft block on top. You could also do 1 block on its lowest height and a second block on its highest height on top of that 1 block. Bring your blankets on either side of your mat, and then bring the soles of your feet together and make sure your strap is nearby. To measure the distance from your heels to your body, use a wooden block. That will be the length. Then we'll strap ourselves in. Bring the strap behind your back, in front of your legs, and then underneath your feet. Place 1 blanket underneath each of your knees for some extra support, and make sure that you're sitting on your perineum. You can do this by lifting up both of your butt cheeks and scooting them back. Once you've set up your lower body, you'll lower your upper body down onto your blocks. Adjust as needed. Your arms can come out to your sides. Make sure that your chin is tilted so that you have space in your neck. We typically start our community classes in a back bend because back bends bring your front body forward. The front side of your body is your potential. It's your future. And that's what you want to bring with you when you enter a room, when you enter a community. We're not very concerned about your past because although your past got you here, it's no longer present, and that's why it's the past. So really, we want to use our future to get where we want to go. And we move towards our future in our present. Your eyes can stay opened or closed here. Sometimes if you close your eyes, it can help you drop in, become more present, and start to notice your breath. We'll begin by taking a breath of the seasons. On your inhale, imagine spring rising up the front side of your body. Hold when you get to the top. Summer ripens overhead. As you exhale, fall descends down your back. And then go inside for winter underneath yourself. Inhale, spring rising up the front side of your body. Hold at the top for summer to blossom. As you exhale, fall descends, let it rain down your back. Hold for winter at the bottom. Drop in. Inhale for spring. Hold for summer. Exhale for fall. And hold for winter. Continue to breathe in this way. Continue to imagine your breath in this spherical nature around your body. And then pick a number. This can be your age. It can be any big number. And that'll be the number of breaths that you're going to stay in this posture for. It's really helpful to have a number that you're counting to when you're holding a posture. And notice that even though you're holding this pose, this asana, really the pose is very dynamic. You're moving your breath. The blocks are continuing to support your back so that you can move forward into your future. So there's always that thought of continuing to move forward, moving into your future through your present, not letting your past get in the way, yet recognizing what it's done for you to get you here. So once you've chosen a number, know that that's helping calm your nervous system, because our bodies really want to know what's happening, how long something's going to take. It's just like if you've never been somewhere before and you get in your car and you start driving and you're just going off of a map, you don't have a GPS with you, and you don't really know the feeling of how long it's going to take, and you don't recognize any of the monuments or anything that you're passing. It can seem like it just takes forever to get to the place because you just keep going and going and you don't really know when it's going to end. And that can be really stressful for your body. When you give yourself an end point, you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so you know that you're in the middle of it right now. But your body and your mind knows that there is going to be an end to this posture. There's going to be an end to having your body in this way. So as you continue to count towards that breath, we'll take a new type of breath, and that's the breath of grace and effort. So instead of breathing up the front side of your body, now we'll breathe up the back side of your body. So as you inhale, see effort rising up your back, and as you exhale, grace descends down your front. So you inhale, the fire of your efforts rise up your back, and as you exhale, the rain of grace falls down your front. Inhale for fire rising, exhale for rain falling. And just notice that now you can wrap yourself a new way. You've changed the direction of your breath. You've manipulated how you're experiencing your breath. That new vision of where your breath is coming from, where it's going to, how does that impact how you experience this moment? Now, regardless of what number you chose, we'll take 5 more breaths here. So continue to breathe with the grace and effort breath. Your inhales travel up your back, your exhales descend down your front. And wrap yourself up a couple more times with this grace and effort, noticing that any time that you give effort, you will receive grace. If you've closed your eyes, go ahead and open them. Bring your hands face down. Start to press yourself up back onto your seat, coming off of your blocks. Unstrap yourself, move your blankets to the side, move your blocks off to the side. Take your time. Make sure that your space is still organized. You want your mat, the area around your mat, to be a place that feels safe. That's somewhere you want to be, so keeping it as organized as possible is ideal. And once you've cleared your mat, bring a block underneath your sits bones. You're going to sit back on your heels, but you'll have a block underneath your sits bones. And bring your feet on either side of the block. We're coming into hero's pose with some support. Bring your knees together. And then bring your hands on either one of your heels. So your right hand will be on your right heel, left hand on your left heel. And your hands are cups for the balls of your heel. So your heel should fit right into the center of each palm. And notice that your body is designed to fit itself, and that's why your heel fits so well inside of your hand. Close your eyes. Root down each of your butt bones. And if you notice that you're sitting back, once again, pull out the flesh of your butt. This will help ground you down, root you down through your perineum. And then imagine a golden thread descends from the universe through the crown of your head, through your throat, through your torso, all the way out your perineum, down through your block, through the floor to the center of the earth. You are now connected from the universe all the way to the center of the earth. You are mediating between the two. Tilt your pelvis forward and backwards. So this is a similar movement to cat-cow when you're in tabletop. And the reason that we do this move so early on in practice is it's helping to light your pilot light. So in Katonah Yoga, we imagine our body as a house with 3 floors, 9 rooms, and 10 doors. And in your house, you have a boiler room. And when the boiler room is functioning and it's getting warm and you're heating it up, the rest of your house is going to be able to heat up and be somewhere where you want to be, where you feel cozy, especially as we're moving into the winter months. You want a house that's going to keep you warm. So you keep tilting your pelvis forward and back and forward and back, and there's very little movement in the rest of your body, especially your upper body, because you're still just lighting your pilot light. You're lighting yourself from beneath so that the fire of your efforts can rise all the way up. So keep going forward and back and forward and back, and pump your breath with it. And then pause. Keep your hands on either of your heels and start to take pelvic circles in the clockwise direction. So imagine that you're sitting on a clock face. In front of you is 12 o'clock, to the right is 3 o'clock, behind you is 6 o'clock, and to the left is 9 o'clock. And you want to get all the way around the clock. So there aren't any numbers that you don't want to hit. You want to hit all of them. And you'll notice as you start to spin your pelvis that there will be some numbers that are harder to reach. So what are those numbers? And can you use the image of the clock face to help you become more aware of the places where you don't like to go when you spin this way? And when you're spinning to the right, you're spinning with time. You're going with the grain. The right side of our body is our education. It's what we've learned in this world. It's what we go out into the world with. And it's also our paternal side. So whenever you're going to the right or using the right side of your body, you can think about any of those characteristics. And then switch directions. We're going to take it to the left. So anytime you make pelvic circles over to the left or spin your body in the direction of the left, this is towards your lunar side. It's your lunacy. It's the part of you that's less conscious. It's your first nature. It's what you came into the world with. So this time when you spin your pelvis, you want to envision a baseball diamond. You're going from home to first to second to third. Home is in front of you, second is behind you, first is to the left, and third is to the right. So where on the baseball diamond is it hard for you to get to? There aren't any bases that you don't want to go. So where is it that your body is kind of fighting against you going there? And can you be extra intentional and bring extra awareness to those places? And then come back to the center and pause. Bring your arms up into a V, make cups with your hands. We're going to take 100 rounds of kapalabhati breath and make sure that before we start breathing, you really have cups with your hands. So if grace were to fall from the universe like rain, you'd be able to catch all of it. Kapalabhati breath is a forceful exhale out your nose. So what we'll do is we'll take a big inhale, breath through our nose together, and then you'll just pump the breath out through your nose. So take an inhale breath. We'll take 100 rounds. Take an inhale breath, hook your thumbs at the top. Take 3 more inhales. 3 more. Hold it full. And exhale. Bring your arms to your side, let it all go. Move the block out from underneath you, come forward into tabletop. And anytime we come into tabletop, we're trying to measure up to the archetype of a table. So you want 4 90-degree angles, one from each shoulder to your wrists, from the other shoulder to the wrists, and then from each of your hips to your knees. In order to measure to make sure you have a 90-degree angle, use one of your wooden blocks and place it in front of your thigh, and then in front of your other thigh. If the block falls over or doesn't fully touch your leg, you know that you need to adjust a bit. And you can do the same thing with the block behind your forearm. So take your time, make sure you really have your 90-degree angles. And then some of us like to take up a little more space than is ours, and some of us don't like to take up as much as we should, as much as the universe has given us. So in order to make sure that your knees are not too wide or too narrow, and same with your hands, we'll start with our hands. So bring your middle fingers to touch as you plant your palms down on your mat. And then once they touch, just pivot on the heel of your hand, and you'll know that that is your shoulder distance apart. So it's another way that our bodies fit themselves. It's a little harder to do with your knees, but one thing that you can try is placing the block on the outside of your leg. And that will help you find the 90-degree angle from your hip to your knee as well. And then place any blocks off to the side. Now you have come as close as you can today of measuring up to the archetype of a table. And then flip your right palm 180 degrees so that your fingers are facing the back of your mat. Line up so that your right wrist is right back underneath your shoulder again. So both of the heels of your hands should be lined up, even though your left fingers are facing forward and your right fingers are facing back. Bring a soft bend into your right elbow and your left, especially if you tend to hyperextend. And that's important because if we're too straight in our body, if we don't have a little bit of a bend, when we fall, we will break. But if you have a little bend, if you have a little bounce in your step, when you fall, you'll just bounce back up. So now that you have your right hand flipped and your left fingertips still pointing forward, we are going to take circles around our right wrist. So it's different than making pelvic circles. Instead, you're going to be making circles around your wrist. So you'll have to shift pretty far forward, pretty far to the right, to the back, to the left, and we are starting clockwise. So you'll go forward to the right, back, and to the left. And once again, you can imagine your wrist on a clock face. So you want to go all the way to all 12 numbers. Make sure that you have the tops of your feet plugged in. Those are your anchors. Make sure that you're still looking forward. You don't want to look back because you don't want to look back into your past. You want to look forward into your future and get where you want to go. So as you're circling around your right wrist, you gaze forward. You keep pressing equally into both of your hands. And then switch directions. Start to take it in the counterclockwise direction. And notice which way is it easier to turn. Do you like going with the grain to the right or against the grain to the left? And then flip your hand back around, plug it right back in, don't shake it out. And then flip your left hand 180 degrees. And if you're someone who has a tendency of going back into their past quite a bit, you might place a lot of your weight in the heels of your hands. So become aware of that. And if you do, press your knuckles extra intentionally into your mat. If you haven't already, bring the slight bend in your left elbow, look forward, and start to make clockwise circles around your left wrist. And whenever we're working with wrist stuff, especially if you've never done it before, it might be really intense. I just encourage you to stick with it. Every time you do this, it'll get a little easier. And it's so important to work on your wrists because you really have 5 necks in your body, and your wrists are 2 of them. Your ankles are 2 of them, and then your actual neck, what we refer to as your neck, is your 5th. So whenever you work on any of these 5, it's going to impact the other ones as well. And then start going in the counterclockwise direction, going to the left, back, to the right, and forward. Try to get all the way around your wrist. Notice the places where you don't really want to go. Bring your awareness to those places in your body that try to stay unconscious. And come back to center. Flip your left hand back around. And take a couple rounds of cat-cow. Start to bring a wave into your pelvis. Going forward and back. Every inhale is when you round your spine. Every exhale, you come through. Take it a little faster, a little faster. Start to bring the fires from the bottom of you, from your perineum, from your boiler room, to your second level, your level of ability, the level that your arms are on, your torso. And then take it even faster. Bring the fires all the way up to your 3rd floor, to your vision, to your head. Take an inhale, round your spine. As you exhale, release. And then press up into a down dog. So bring your hands a couple inches forward, tuck your toes, send your hips high. And in order to measure the length of your down dog, shift forward into a plank. And if you're not in a plank, if your wrists are not directly under your shoulders and your heels are not directly over your toes, adjust yourself so that you are. And then once you've found 90-degree angles in your feet and in your wrist to your shoulders, press back up to a down dog. So your plank is the measure of the length of your downward facing dog. In your down dog, bend your knees, lift your heels, lift your butt, and try to find the crescendo in your low back. When you bring the weight into your legs in your down dog, you're bringing the weight, the focus into your stability, and that takes the work out of your upper body or your ability. A lot of us muscle so many things in our life, not only physically, but also in our everyday life. We focus so much on our ability, what we're able to do, but if we're just stable, if we have stronger, more stable, more awakened legs and a lower body, we're going to be in a much better position to be able to accomplish things and not have to use our ability so much. We'll just use what we have going for us. And the reason that our lower body is often so unused and so unutilized is because it is part of our lunar nature. And anything that's lunar, so your left side of your body, your lower side of your body, your back side of your body, your past, those things we're going to be less aware of them. On your next inhale, come forward to a plank. As you exhale, go back to a down dog. Inhale to a plank. Exhale to your down dog. Keep going every inhale to plank, every exhale to down dog, and always keep your gaze slightly forward. So even when you're in your down dog, you're slightly gazing forward. Keep your ears by your biceps. And we'll take this a few more times. Count about 10 more times out. So that once again, you have that beginning, middle, and end. It calms your nervous system. You know it's going to end. You can do this. You can focus for just a few more rounds of it. And then after your 10th time, you'll come back to a down dog. And then walk your hands to your feet and your feet to your hands, forward fold. Keep a bend in your knees. Find knee to armpit contact. Once again, that's a ball and a mitt fit. Just like you fit your heels in your hands, your knees fit in your armpits. You are designed to fit yourself. Relax your head and your neck. And measure out that you have your feet at hip distance apart. So bring 2 fists together, place them in between the arches of your feet, make sure they fit. If they don't, because there's not enough space, widen your stance a bit. If there's too much space in between your feet, scoot them in towards each other so that just the 2 fists fit in between them. And then grab onto opposite elbows. We'll spend a few rounds of breath in our forward fold. Know that every time that you shift your weight back into your heels, that's back into your past. Every time you shift your weight forward into the balls of your feet, you're shifting forward into your future. And every time you mediate the 2 in the center, your arch, that's your present. So without lifting any part of your foot up off of your mat, start shifting forward and backwards really slowly. You can even pause a little forward or pause a little back. And notice which one feels more comfortable. And I challenge you to not just stay where it's comfortable. To get outside your comfort zone, go to those places that you don't necessarily always want to go, but that are really the places that are going to help you grow. And the next time that you've shifted back into your heels, release your hands to your mat and tuck your hands underneath your feet with your palms facing up and your fingertips pointed towards the back of your mat. Anytime that you come into this asana, Padahastasana, you are ironing out your back, steam pressing your back, because the back of your hand is your actual back. And in this fold, know that you're folding the front side of your body to the back side of your body. So when we fold inanimate objects, like a piece of paper, you fold a front to a front or a back to a back. But when you fold living objects, like humans, you are folding a front to a back. So the front side of your torso, what we call the front, your face, your belly, your chest area, that is a front because it's soft and mushy. And what we normally refer to as the front side of our legs is very hard, which means it's actually a back. It's the bony part. So when you fold your chest to your thighs, you're folding the front side of your upper body to the back side of your lower body. Now untuck your hands and make cups with your hands for your heels. Slide your hands underneath your heels and find even more contact of your belly on your thighs. In your fold, imagine your heels going towards your mat, your hips reaching up towards the sky. Your legs will never fully straighten, and that will help keep a good tilt in your pelvis. And we'll be here for 3 more rounds of breath. Release your hands from underneath your feet. And we're going to roll this up as slowly as you can. Your head will come up last. Keep your knees bent. Keep your feet hip distance apart. And start to slowly roll up. Imagine that you're building a cathedral. Once you get all the way to the top, inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Hook your thumbs at the top. And then exhale, release your hands by your sides. Tuck your chin to your chest. Take an inhale breath. Right away, start to lower right back down. Whenever you run out of breath, pause, take another inhale. And as you exhale, keep lowering down. When you get to the bottom, hang for a moment, grabbing onto the opposite elbow in front. And then walk yourself out to a plank and press yourself up to a down dog. Look forward. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, step your right foot forward and then step it back to a down dog. Look forward, take an inhale. Step your left foot forward and then step it back to a dog. And then keep alternating, so you'll step your right foot forward and then you step it back. Step your left foot forward and you step it back. And we're stepping to a 90-degree angle. The reason that we're stepping to a 90-degree angle is because 90 degrees is the most stable angle for your body. So anytime you stack bone over bone, that's going to be the most stable angle. And that's because gravity will be working straight down from the first bone to the second bone. And so you won't actually have to be doing anything to keep that stacking. So you'll go between your left and your right, and this is just helping you lubricate your hip joints a little bit. Practice stepping to your 90-degree angle, and keep moving in this way. Come back to your down dog and drop down to a tabletop. Move towards the back of your mat a bit, and we're going to come into embryo pose to set up for moon salutations. Embryo pose is like a child's pose. Your knees are together, your feet are together, your arms are by your sides, and your head is reaching towards the earth. Your eyes may fit in your knees, ideally, and you're in a tiny little ball. As we move through moon salutations, I'll talk you through the first few, and then it'll be silent so that you can just move through them by yourself. We use moon salutations to practice not being so swayed by the moon. We are connected to nature, and the moon, as it goes through its cycle, impacts our own cycles. Cycles of feelings, emotions, more of that lunar first nature part of who we are. When we practice moon salutes, we have more control over that part of us that tends to be very unconscious. On your inhale, lift your torso, lift your arms. As you exhale, reach forward and fold back towards the mat. Inhale, wash forward like a wave. Come to upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog, send your hips high. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, low crescent. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, arms reach up, stand up. Exhale, fold forward. Step your right foot back. Inhale, low crescent. Exhale, down dog, plant your hands, step back. Inhale, up dog with toes tucked. Exhale, come back to where you started, wash back like a wave. Inhale, lift your arms, lift your torso. Exhale, reach forward, fold back towards your mat. Wash forward like a wave as you breathe in, up dog. Exhale, down dog, hips high. Step your left foot forward, Anjaneyasana, drop your knee, lift your arms. Exhale, forward fold, right foot meets your left. Inhale, arms up, stand up. Exhale, fold forward, step your left foot back. Inhale, low crescent, drop your knee, lift your arms. Exhale, down dog, plant your hands, step back. Inhale, up dog with toes tucked, shift forward. Exhale, back to where you started, wash back like a wave. Inhale, lift your arms, lift your torso. Exhale, reach forward, fold towards your mat. Inhale, wash forward like a wave, up dog. Exhale, down dog, hips high. Right foot forward, Anjaneyasana as you breathe in. Exhale, fold forward, left foot meets your right. Arms up, reach up, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Step your right foot back. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, down dog, plant your hands, step back. Inhale, up dog with toes tucked. Exhale, back to where you started. Inhale, lift your torso, lift your arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, wash forward like a wave, up dog. Exhale, down dog, hips high. Left foot forward, low crescent, inhale, breath. Exhale, forward fold, right foot meets your left. Rise up on your breath in. Fold forward as you breathe out. Left foot steps back, low crescent, inhale. Exhale, down dog, step back, plant your hands. Inhale, up dog, shift forward. Exhale, back to where you started. Hold for a moment. We'll continue with moon salutes, one more round on each side. This time I won't be talking you through it, but the video is always there if you need a little extra guidance. At the end of this round, come back to where we started in the embryo pose. And then lift your torso. We'll move into a seated forward fold. Bring 1 to 2 blankets towards the back of your mat and bring your strap along with you. Sit on top of your blankets. Move the flesh out from underneath your butt to sit on your perineum. Keep your knees bent. And then you'll wrap your strap underneath your thighs and behind your back so that you're sandwiching your upper and lower body together. Click your strap together or tighten it if it doesn't have a click. The strap will be a little less than midway up your back. Make sure you have 1 to 2 blocks. I like to place 1 block lengthwise for my feet to go on and 1 block behind that block for a little extra length for me to reach for. You can take your legs together or hip distance apart. I like to take mine together. And then what's most important here is that you have belly to thigh contact. So it's okay to bend your knees a lot so that you have that. It's more important to find your belly on your thighs than it is to have straight legs. So bend as much as you need to. Reach for your block. And the strap just helps you stay together. It gives you a boundary. And keeps your lower and upper body connected and helps find the fold of the front body to your back body. As we're in our forward fold today, we are going to do the Heavenly Circuit meditation. So from 1 to 9, you make effort, you're vigilant, and your efforts then give you grace. So that's like the grace and effort breath that we did at the beginning of practice, where you can imagine effort rising up your back and grace descending down your front. So for every effort, there is a grace, and for every grace, there was an effort. From 2 to 8, you set a goal, and then you're patient. Your goal is something that you see off in the future, and because it's in the future, you have to have patience to get you there. So it wraps you from near your right eye to your left leg. You set a goal, you practice patience. From east to west, from 3 to 7, it's dawn and dusk. It's a meditation of time. There's a dawn and a dusk every day. So you image your breath from 3 to 7, from your right hand to your left hand, going through the center of your body. And know that in the middle of the dawn and the dusk, there's always noon. There's always the middle of the two. From 4 to 6, you see the vision and the potential, and you engage your will to get it done. So from your left eye to your right leg, your right hip, you've envisioned what you want, what can happen with your potential, and you engage your will to go out and get it. So you have a vision, you go and achieve your vision with your will. And then from there, you will develop tenacity. You'll make effort, and you'll be patient, and you'll reflect, and you'll set a goal again. With effort, there's grace. Every goal requires patience. What you're working towards will happen through the day, through time. When you envision it and you engage your will, that will help get you there. Without your willpower, a vision means nothing. And even if you have a lot of will but no vision, nothing will get done. Grab onto opposite elbows. And as you come up through a back bend. So try not to engage your back, but rather bring your front body forward, up and around like you're going over a big beach ball. Your front body keeps going forward until you've sat all the way up. Bring your left hand to your right knee, your right hand behind you. Find a twist. Keep imaging your front body coming forward, up and around as you twist. And when you feel like you can't go any further, your left nipple wraps around towards the right. Come back through center, right hand to left knee, left hand behind your back. You're still on your perineum, your front body comes forward, up and around. As you turn towards the left, your right nipple wraps around, trying to line up each of your shoulders from the front of your mat to the back of your mat. Come back to center. Undo your strap. Remove your blankets. Bring one block underneath your sits bones, one final Virasana. Place your hands on the top of your lap. And we'll finish with one round of another kapalabhati breath to boost our immune systems. Bring your left hand to your sternum, your right arm out to the right. Start to tap your sternum. Know that this is the place of your immunity. And then swap hands, left arm out to the left. And every exhale, your opposite hand will come in. Let's take a big breath in. Inhale, hook your thumbs at the top. Take 3 more big sips. Hold. And exhale. Let it go. Arms to your sides. Bring your hands to your heart. Spend a moment in gratitude, thanking yourself for practicing, for working on how you're going to move your mind through your body and your body through the world. Namaste.